This is episode 110. Do you struggle to make your search results stand out from your competitors? Does it look like your competitors always have videos, reviews, or images next to their results, but not you? Well, in today's episode, I will explain what Google recommends for video SEO best practices, and I'll show you what you need to do to stand out in Google using video. So let's get started. Welcome to the Calm Marketer Podcast. My name is Kenneth Fong, a digital marketer on a mission to help businesses thrive. I'll bring you on my marketing journey where you'll get to learn from my experiences as an INFP navigating an extroverted world and get actionable marketing tips for your business. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now let's begin. So today I came across an article on Search Engine Journal that talked about Google's recent presentation on their YouTube channel that overviews their 5 video SEO best practices. And I thought this was pretty relevant today because video is so important, and a lot of my clients are leveraging video on their site. And I'm actually also using video for advertising as well, and it's shown to be working much better than images. And I wanted to discuss video today to kind of give you some insight into what you need to do to stand out in Google using video. So, first thing that you want to do before you even create videos is ask yourself if you need video in the first place. Because in many instances, for whatever keyword you want to rank for, you need to see whether or not Google is surfacing video. If they are not surfacing video in their search results, then I would probably recommend not creating a video for that search term. But if you do notice that video is surfaced for that search result, then I highly recommend you create a video and add it to your page. So there's a couple of ways to determine whether or not you need video. The first one is, the straightforward way is just do a search result. I recommend opening up an incognito window in Chrome and just search for whatever keyword you want to rank for and see whether or not you see video snippets, see whether or not you see video carousel in the results. If you do, then that's a good signal to you, letting you know that you must create video. On the other hand, if you don't see it, then you probably don't need to do it at this point. Another way to do it is to determine whether or not a search term has a video being surfaced by Google is using a tool like SEMrush. SEMrush allows you to see what kind of SERP features your keyword has. So if you have an account with SEMrush, you can click onto their keyword manager or the keyword overview and just type in whatever keyword you want to rank for. And it'll populate all of the data for that particular keyword. And one of the data points is SERP features. And if you see that there's video or video carousel, then you know that that particular keyword has videos showing up or there's a video carousel in Google. So that's another way to do it if you want to really kind of get data very quickly. So for example, if you have 10 related keywords or 20 or 50 related keywords and you want to see if they have video, you can just populate it in SEMrush, and within seconds, you'll know which keywords have video and which ones don't. So this one is a much quicker way to determine if you should be creating video versus the more manual way if you just kind of have to manually Google every single keyword at once. And I'll include a link to a discount if you want to try SEMrush for free. You can click on that in the show notes. So once you determine whether or not you need video, the first tip, according to Google, is, and there's 5 tips. The first one is make your videos available on the web. So that's what they are recommending. What does that mean? That basically means that your video needs to be searchable on the web. So don't just upload it onto your website and not have the search engines or anyone find it easily. It needs to be found easily. And one way to guarantee this is to upload your videos on YouTube. YouTube is owned by Google, and it's a free way to upload your videos. And this will allow you to not only show up in google.com, but also on youtube.com. So a really easy platform to upload your videos, and that's what I recommend. And when you create video, what you need to do is also add chapters to your YouTube video. So what are chapters? This is a pretty recent feature. So it's basically timestamps that indicate different sections of your video, or you can call them chapters. So it allows people to easily jump to different parts of your video to find the answer that they need. So if it's like, how to change a tire, how to change a flat tire, you might have 5 chapters. And you can indicate that by adding those in the video description. So to have those chapters, you need to use your video description, and you must have 3 timestamps with titles. You need to have at least 3 timestamps with titles. And the first timestamp must start with 0. So 0:00. And each chapter must be 10 seconds or more. All right, so if you just type in 0:00 space and then the title, and then on the next line you could do 01:05 and then chapter 2, so on and so forth. Okay, and that's the way you can add chapters. And then the next best practice, according to Google, is you need to provide structured data with the video object markup. So what does that mean? Structured data is essentially code that sits behind the page that allows Google to understand what kind of content your page has. And it gives Google instructions on how to surface that content in Google. Okay, so it tells Google how you want your content to be displayed. And Google reserves the right in showing searchers how they display your content. So if you have video on your page, I recommend creating a JSON LD markup. JSON LD markup is basically code that specifically tells Google what type of content is on your page. So in this instance, you need to use the video markup. Okay, and how do you create this video markup? Well, if you go to technicalseo.com, on the left-hand side, you'll see schema generator. And when you click on schema generator, you can select a video. And when you select a video, you can fill up all the information, and this tool will automatically create the JSON LD markup that you can add to your page. So you need to add, the name of the video description, when it was published, the time frame, the thumbnail. Okay, so thumbnail, what you need to do is you need to upload the thumbnail onto your site and get the URL for that thumbnail and copy and paste it onto this tool. Okay, and once you add all of that, you can basically copy and paste it and add it to your page. So how do you add it to your page? If you have a WordPress website, an easy way to do that is to use a WordPress plugin. The WordPress plugin I recommend is the Insert Headers and Footers plugin. It is by, the maker is by, the developer is by WP Beginner. And I'll include a link to this plugin in the show notes. And once you install this WordPress plugin, you can add any type of markup or script or tag to any page you want. So I'll include a link to this. I'll also include a link to the video markup generator in the show notes as well, so you have direct access to it. And the third thing that Google recommends is to include high quality thumbnails. So make sure your thumbnails are high quality. I recommend just using Canva. It's free, and you can use the tool to create your video thumbnails. And once you create your video thumbnails, that's where you upload it to your site, right? And once you upload it to your site, like I said earlier, just copy and paste the URL of that thumbnail and add it to the video markup. And also what's important about this is that your video thumbnails will show up in the video tab in the search results, and also in the main search listings as well. So it's important to include a video thumbnail that's very eye-catchy and high quality. The fourth thing that they recommend is to incorporate submit a video sitemap. Okay, a video sitemap is essentially a file that you add to your site that is solely for the purpose of Google to read. And this sitemap will list all of the videos on your website, and it will basically tell Google, okay, these are all the videos on my site. I want you to make sure that you read them and make sure you show them on Google. So this video sitemap can be created using another WordPress plugin called Rank Math. Rank Math is, I think, the best SEO plugin for WordPress right now. It's super easy to use, very powerful, and you can use this tool to create your video sitemap. And then the fifth and final best practice according to Google is to make your content files accessible. So this one, I wouldn't worry too much about it if you are doing a lot of like technical things, or, as long as you upload the video onto YouTube, as long as you upload a high quality thumbnail, you should be fine. Don't worry about making your content files accessible. This is only if you are blocking certain parts of your site from getting read by Google, or if you're blocking certain crawlers, then this is where you might need to kind of make sure and be very careful not to prevent Google from reading your video content files. So just make sure, you upload it and you should be fine. Okay, so hopefully you thought this was helpful. I will include the links that I mentioned in the show notes. If you have any questions around SEO in general, or marketing, or if you want to collaborate, please feel free to reach out. Go to bit.ly/thecalmmarketer. That's bit.ly/thecalmmarketer. And let's connect. So hopefully you thought this was helpful. I will see you on the next episode.